How far have you come to come here?
I live in South Harrow.
Oh.
Yeah, very close.
Yeah.
Rayners Lane here, 10 minutes metropolitan.
Jesus, yeah, that's easy. So I'm in Clapham. That's a bit more of a trek.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm in Cambridge.
He's in Cambridge.
Or just like Cambridge.
Well, do you actually live there?
Yeah, I live there. Yeah.
So you travelled down. He came from Plymouth today.
Yeah, I came from. I was at a event last night for the England game, watching the England game with Razor Ruddock. Supposed to be Paul Merson, but I got. We'll say the name of the guy I was with in a minute because it's an interesting story. I'll say that on the actual podcast, but. And then there was another guy who played for Arsenal.
This could just be in the start of the podcast.
Oh yeah, because we're recording, aren't we? Oh yeah, nice. I forgot about that. I was in Plymouth at an event
So you took what, 6
to watch
hours
the
from-
Euros.
Oh.
4-hour train. Yeah.
What, this morning?
Yeah, I've been up since 6 o'clock. I am dying. But there's the panel, and then that man in the middle. I might give this to Holly so she can. Put it
send
in
that to
the
Holly.
screen for you. But that is Peter Shilton, the 125 capped England goalkeeper.
Oh, so
He might come up later.
Potentially, he might come up later. Yeah. I thought I was going to do it like at the start of us picking players and stuff, but like, it's an interesting story.
In place.
Yeah, it's fine. It's all good.
So, hey guys,
We're back.
This is what we're going to call now the Blue Podcast Extra.
Yes.
Obviously, we've been doing quizzes and stuff like that. This is going to be a more analytical one because we've got Coach Raffers with us today. So we're going to do obviously race. Well, actually, it's your idea. You explain.
I was going to say it was my idea.
I'm not going to steal your thunder.
This is my idea. Basically, we're all talking about England and how we've done in this last tournament. It's on everyone's minds at the moment. So I wanted to go back and have a look and see if we could build our all-time England 11. Not the best players, English players ever, or the best players to play for England ever, because if you did that, it would be, play Rooney in midfield, Lampard, be completely imbalanced, like no tactics, just throw as many attackers on the pitch as you can, basically. Beckham at right back. But this is, you pick a tactic and model the best of all the England players who best fits each of those roles. So we've each picked, I've picked a manager, you picked a manager, potentially got you to get a manager as well. And then we take their tactics and formations that they would have used and gone, okay, from all time, who would I want to start in each of these positions? Sound good?
Sound good to me.
Awesome. So, Rafa's.
Are we doing it all in one or position by position?
Should we go?
We'll go
section by section.
Section by
goalkeeper, defence, midfield, attack. I think that's probably going to be best.
So
why don't you
are
kick
we
us off,
just?
Rafa,
Can I just double check? Because obviously initially you made me pick a 26-man squad.
Not everyone's got.
By the way.
Not everyone's got a 26-man squad. I've got a 26-man squad. You've got 23.
I've got 23
I've
players.
got my starting lineup.
Yeah. Should we just do the starting lineup then?
Let's just do the starting. I might mention some other names that could get into the squad to fill it out a little bit. But let's start off with your manager. Your kind of how you're going to play, and then.
This has made it so much more difficult for me, man. It was so much easier when I was picking a squad.
Well, I was always going to tell you what my starting lineup was.
Yeah.
But whilst he's deciding what he's doing, your manager, tactic, and your goalkeeper.
So my manager would be me.
Nice.
I would go Bobby Robson.
Yes.
Especially considering the players that I've selected. Obviously, he's had experience at Barcelona, right? So it would be a similar play style to what he tried at Barcelona.
Okay, cool, nice one. And have you got a formation that you're going to go with?
4-3-1-2.
Nice. Okay, cool. That's weirdly similar to how I'm going to play. Actually, that's odd. So
because England are not renowned for traditional wingers. Yes, David Beckham, but
I'm gonna mention that at one point or another.
Okay.
So so that's awesome. Who would you be your goalkeeper to start with? Because it's not. Sometimes there's a little bit of tactics with goalkeeper, but mostly it's just a guy in the stick. So who would you go for?
So it'd be the World Cup winner, Gordon Banks.
Gordon Banks. Yeah. Great shout. Somebody I had on my list of my squad. So World Cup winning goalkeeper, you can't really leave him out, can you?
He was in my squad, but he didn't make the starting 11.
Pickford got the...
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not, bro. Absolutely not.
Well, in that case, tell us your manager, tactic.
You saw him last night, mate.
Well,
Peter Shilton.
Give us your manager first.
Oh, my manager. Oh, sorry, yes. I've gone with Alf Ramsey. Okay. He is the... same as you?
The only World Cup winner.
Yep.
See, this is why. I was planning this. I was telling him about it.
No. Okay. The reason was because initially I had... oh, my God. Who was the women's coach for Chelsea recently?
Emma Hayes?
I had Emma Hayes. But then I saw your criteria and it had to be
former England
manager. So I went, well,
But you see,
shit.
this is why I said to you.
Doesn't matter. We can now just see who's different with all this.
Because if you just told me, I would have gone with somebody that didn't win a lot but was interesting, like Fabio Capello or something, and gone on tried to do a fun.
You
tactic.
said be niche.
Yeah, niche is like not picked a lot. Like Alf Ramsey, I've gone with him as well because he's the best. But I could have gone with somebody fun if I'd known you weren't going to do it.
I thought you would have just done someone.
Who's your goalkeeper? Go on, hurry up.
Peter Shilton.
Yeah, right, cool, fair enough.
Who's yours?
So's mine. Mine's Sir Alf Ramsey. I've found out what his tactic is.
Yes, it's the wingless wonders.
It is. So it's 4-1-2-1-2.
Yeah, basically the same. It's just 4-4-2 diamond, whatever you mean.
Exactly.
I liked it. The reason I went with him because I was looking. I did actually do some research on this. The reason I went with him is because I think there's more better attacking midfielders than there are wingers.
Yeah, I completely agree. There was one winger who made my squad, and he didn't start. We'll get onto that when we talk about the attackers, because again, he could have been brought on in the 10 role and just made free and like he can go out wide or whatever.
Yeah, I'm a bit stuck.
Did you go through like the position by position of tactics for yourself, or did you just kind of...
Yeah, I've got position.
Okay, cool. So for me, I like to have one wing back attacking, a fullback who is still forward thinking but is more defensive.
Okay.
You have a centre back who just sits and a ball player who steps into midfield.
Okay.
And then DM who sits, one midfielder who's box to box, one midfielder who can drift wide and come in, just a generic attacking midfielder moving into free spaces, a bit more of a free role, an attacker who's able to press but then drift wide potentially, and then an attacker who is just he's a poacher, sit in the top, score goals.
Yep. Same.
Cool. So defence, why don't you start with this one first, and then we'll come over to you.
Back four. Got my back four.
Cool.
I've gone for security in the fullback positions in terms of Kyle Walker and Ashley Cole.
Yep.
I think any team trying to get round the wings is just screwed at that point.
Yeah, I agree.
And also like they can attack if they were. I'm not thinking that they're with my back four because of how attacking my team is. They probably will stay back. Okay. They won't be necessarily needed in the attack, but they can. Kyle Walker can get forwards. Ashley Cole can get forwards.
Yeah,
but they are known as solid defensive fullbacks.
Okay, cool.
And then my defensive centre back partnership, I think, is quite obvious in John Terry and Bobby Moore.
Okay. I knew this was going to... To be fair, I knew this was going to happen because I knew it would be interesting in some way. But yeah, okay, cool. We'll come on to that.
Do we need to?
We will come on to that in a second. Rafis, what about yourself?
I've gone Gary Neville, Sol Campbell, Terry, and Ashley Cole.
Wow.
Okay. There are some names that I like in there. There are some big names I like.
If you notice with my lineup, it's more the modern era.
Yeah.
By modern, I mean from like 1990s onwards.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Some older players.
And yours, Henry?
We'll go through it. So left back Ashley Cole, I completely agree. I think there's no other option. The person I brought with him was Stuart Pearce, obviously a legend of England, but nowhere near Cole in my opinion.
He was in my squad.
But he was, he's so aggressive. Peter Shilton was talking about him last night, how he would just like bite into you. He's like that silent assassin, Stuart Pearce.
Yeah. Because
he would just like out of nowhere just
and obviously was
crush you.
Missed in that penalty shootout.
He did.
When Southgate messed up.
Yeah. So
sorry, I just really struggled with
this.
No, my brain was just. I've been in the studio since for like 4 hours now.
We'll cut him a bit of slack. So where I found this tactic, I basically mocked it up in FM to see how it would work. And when I mocked it up, I had the right back attacking and the left back defending. Ashley Cole was in a fantastic attacking fullback. And I wanted to shift the wide midfielder out to a different position for a certain reason. So in that respect, the left back became attacking, so that's actually Cole. Fantastic. So I wanted somebody a bit more defensive, solid, reliable, still a decent crosser if he did have to get forward. So I went with Gary Neville over Kyle Walker. I think Kyle Walker is fantastic. Plays very differently to how Gary Neville did because football was different back then.
Okay.
So I think if you play Kyle Walker back then, he may not have been as good. If you play Gary Neville now, he probably wouldn't be as good either. They're very different players.
Yeah.
But for me, for what I wanted, I think Gary Neville would have suited that a lot better, personally. Yeah. But again, no disrespect to Kyle Walker, he was my backup. So.
Fair enough.
So midfield, we've all got central midfield, haven't we? We've all got like 4 central midfield.
I have 4, yeah.
4, and you've got 4 as well.
Kind of.
So should we just do our?
I've got 2 more pivot.
Yeah.
One further forward. I've gone for more of a 2-1, 4-2.
4-2.
4-2-3-1.
4-2-3-1. So, and your three, your two out wide players, are they?
No.
But so it's like.
But they can. They're just like very like for example, Phil Foden's on my team.
Yeah.
But he would fit that role.
Like right now, Musiala and Wirtz.
Yes.
Germany.
Okay.
Yes.
Wide and now.
Shall we do your three central midfielders and then do your two?
Well,
wide attack?
I'm a bit. I've got 12 players written down right now because there's a certain player who I'm just like I really have to get him in.
Okay. Do you want to do yours first then? Because then you can kind of stop where you want to stop, and we'll go from there. Because
I'll just say my two more holding midfielders. One's more of an 8, one's more of a 6. Is Paul Scholes and Frank Lampard.
so Scholes is the holder.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
It's a very attacking midfield
Do you think this would work at international level?
with Bobby Charlton in front of them.
Okay, I do love that. But my God, this team would get dicked.
That's why you have to have. That's why I've gone for the most defensive back four possible.
Okay, but
Like,
you
you
didn't go with Gary Neville. You went with Kyle Walker.
Yes, because I think Kyle Walker is better than Gary Neville in pretty much every single facet.
Fair enough. I can see it.
I just do. I think Gary Neville's fantastic.
Yeah.
And I think highly, highly underrated. Because everyone just thought he was, behind Beckham. He was phenomenal.
You forget Beckham left, and then he became a crosser, and he was fantastic at it.
Yes.
So,
but I just still think Kyle Walker's better.
okay. It's nice having another United fan on the show because then I don't feel alone right now. But fair enough.
So I guess that's my midfield three.
Is that what you're going to leave out?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I see this problem all the time. It's a big issue with me. There's a reason why I'm a bit more open to the fact that Gareth Southgate likes to play Rice and somebody else defensive, because I like the fact that it's a bit more pragmatic. It's a bit more solid.
But
and it's
I want
harder.
Bellingham to play in the 8 and Foden's
we're
playing
not going
in the
down
10,
that.
and this is pretty much exactly the same thing.
Yeah. So this is it is exactly the same.
It's exactly the same thing.
So I chose a DM, and I went with Nobby Stiles. He was the defensive midfielder who played in the 1966 World Cup team.
Okay.
Just aggressive. You'd think how aggressive football was back in the 90s. Go back to the 60s. He's kicking 3 shillings.
Didn't Charlton come out and say that he was one of the best players
he
ever played with? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. He's sitting in that anchor role. He's going to drop. So Bobby Moore would probably. Did I do my centre backs?
Yeah.
You didn't do a centre back.
I'll do them quickly now. So it's Bobby Moore and Rio Ferdinand.
You're a fucking idiot.
Hate
Sorry.
you too. Bobby Moore is the guy.
No, John Terry is.
John Terry and Bobby Moore, I find them very similar in that they are aggressive, not as quick, but so good, so intelligent. Yeah, but you have that intelligent captain in there with Bobby Moore instead of John Terry, and then you have Rio Ferdinand who steps and he's that ball player.
Kyle Walker with the pace, and then you've got the intelligence of John Terry and Bobby Moore.
But Rio kind of steps alongside Nobby almost. They're kind of playing on the same level from different places because it's a bit of a what
I understand why you put him in there. Just disagree.
Fair enough. I have him and I have Jack Charlton as his backup. Who is another incredible
choice? If not,
no. John Terry is the backup to Bobby Moore.
Okay.
So you see what I mean? I picked 2 for each side. I see the centre backs differences anyway. So, but yeah, Rio Ferdinand is the guy who steps forward and is the ball player. I think you need to have somebody a bit more comfortable in the pass, a bit quicker to cover on recovery runs. Can play both.
Stiles and Moore would let Ferdinand go slightly ahead.
Slightly, yeah. I think that would kind of work. So it start with
a back 3 and build up.
It's kind of a back 3 and build up, yeah. Okay. But with Gary, because you kind of got Gary Neville in there as well, who's not going mental. This is how he did it, and it worked. So, I mean, for me, I wouldn't have Gary Neville on so much of a defensive role if I were doing it. But that's just me. But yeah, you need a passer. You need a passer in there. So I think Rio Ferdinand works perfectly.
Yeah.
Nobby Stiles sits, and his backup, less of a hard tackler, but he still knew how to tackle. And a man who's criminally underappreciated is Michael Carrick. There are no other solid DMs for England I can think of. Nobody in there who's.
I can't believe Michael Carrick's went into an all-time England.
For me,
don't get me wrong. I absolutely loved what Michael Carrick and also Darren Fletcher did.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But Michael Carrick, all-time.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
But I can see why you've put.
Because I've gone for the tactic.
It just feels wrong having him involved.
There are a lot more midfielders to come. In all fairness, in a second, I'll talk about the more attacking ones.
He's very underrated as a manager right now, Michael Carrick.
Yeah, agreed.
Don't sleep on him.
He's got something about him.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
All right.
But I couldn't name another DM who was solid for England.
Carrick As your backup, yeah.
He's not in the starting 11.
So
He's on the bench.
who's the two in front then?
So Paul Scholes got make it in there. Everybody who's like intelligent, like football wise, is saying he was the best of that three. The most intelligent. Played deep. Played forward. I played him in the box to box role because he can do both. He showed he could do both. He's just magnificent to watch, isn't he?
Yeah.
That control of the football, the strike. You got a goal in him from distance. Like, I want to see him play for England as much as I can.
So you've gone Bobby Moore.
Yep.
And Ferdinand.
Yep.
With Styles and
Scholes, and then alongside Scholes. So this is.
No, Carrick on the
Carrick
bench.
So Carrick was on the bench. Sorry,
okay.
He doesn't make it into my 11.
Okay.
He's the backup.
Scholes and Styles just in the double. Okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of a double pivot. The guy who's a bit more attacking in that kind of central midfield is Gaza. I think you've got to try and get Gaza in
He's
somewhere.
in my team, yeah.
We'll talk about him in a second with you. Playing a Metzala role, so basically he's drifting onto that right wing when possible. So his backup, David Beckham.
Yeah.
Because doesn't make your team.
He doesn't make my starting 11. He makes the bench. So I see.
Doesn't make my team either.
Really?
So Gaza and Lampard is the guy who is in there as well. Oh, why not put Beckham in? Oh no, I'm so sorry. I've done him in the wrong place. So sorry. Lampard is going to be backing up Gaza, although Beckham can play there. Sorry, I'm very tired.
Okay.
Gerrard backs up Scholes.
Yep.
The man who, if I'm doing 23 men, misses out is Glenn Hoddle, who was a magnificent is in his era in the 90s, fantastic, but unfortunately does just miss out.
Mm-hmm.
So Beckham actually backs up my attacking midfielder,
Who is
Bobby Charlton, because he is the World Cup winning.
So you've gone for a 1-2-1 midfield.
Yeah, so one sits. It's exactly what it is. It's a diamond. Yeah. So Bobby Charlton, Beckham, Gaza or Lamps, Scholes or Gerrard, and then Nobby Styles or Carrick.
Okay.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Yep.
You don't agree, but
no.
Go on, Rafa.
So I've gone with Scholes and Gerrard sitting. Both can alternate sitting and going forward.
Okay.
With Lampard and Rooney just ahead of them.
Okay.
So
It's a box.
Sort of like a box, but it could be very flexible. I'd love to see Rooney and Lampard just in the little pockets, getting the ball and combining.
Okay.
With Gerrard and Scholes more of the central areas, dishing out wide, and then the width will be provided by Neville or Cole.
Yeah. Okay.
On the side of the ball. So the reason why I picked Robson is because I could see, like at Barcelona with that philosophy, I think that could be applied here. Not exactly, because it's not a 4-3-3 with wingers, but that style can definitely be applied
because of its fluidity, right?
Yeah, it's fluid, and I think with when you have players like Rooney and Lampard and Scholes and Gerrard, I just think if you get them interchanging and passing and moving, I think that'd be very fun to watch.
I think it would be incredibly fun to watch. I'm just a little bit concerned about. I mean, obviously it didn't work when they played the three of them together.
That was all to do with the manager.
Yeah,
you think?
That was just like right now Southgate's problems. Yeah,
playing Scholes at left mid.
Just
to fit the 4-4-2 system he wants, rather than fit in the system to the team.
So you think he played the system like Rafa is suggesting it could work?
Because Scholes, his priority is that central area, dishing out wide, dictating. Gerrard can bomb forward. Lampard will understand to drop in, or Gerrard sits, Lampard stays further ahead. So I think that when you play four in the middle and you just tell them just to roam and just get on the ball while they circulate, you have Ashley Cole, Neville on either side.
Yeah,
I think the balance is there. So the width is provided by the fullback. That gives Rooney the license to stay in, and then Rooney, if he wants to go out wide, he can go out wide.
Okay.
And then
because you've got three guys in there covering. Yeah. Okay.
So
cool.
it just gives them that flexibility. Yeah.
Okay, I like that. Nice. Cool.
Nice.
Did you say yours? I forget. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did.
Because you did your weird thing. Cool. Well, I will go first for this final section then.
Weird thing of Scholes, Lampard, and
no, because you've got two attacking midfielders out wide. Yeah. Weirdly. Okay, cool.
It's like a reverse diamond.
I'm going to go first this time because you guys went first before, so I'm going to go first with my strikers. Harry Kane is the top goal scorer for England of all time. I think he gets in automatically because of that.
Nope. Interesting. I agree with him, but okay.
And then outside of Bobby Charlton,
it's funny how the United fans think alike.
Exactly.
Kane isn't even
I mean, outside of Bobby Charlton, this is the best player to ever play for England, and that's Wayne Rooney.
I realised I haven't put Rooney in my team.
Have you missed another one?
I think.
See how difficult this is.
I think Wayne Rooney is very. For some reason, he just seems a bit underrated.
I don't know why.
I've dropped someone for
I
him.
think it's because he's like the typical whatever. Like,
He could have been in
someone
that
for him.
Ballon d'Or conversation because it was messing around. If messing around hadn't been there, I think he would have won Ballon d'Ors. And I think we would be talking about him a lot higher than he actually is. But
I've dropped Beckham.
Okay, interesting.
Okay, cool. So
And I dropped Lineker as well.
the one man I didn't mention when we were talking about attacking midfielders, I put him in there because I think he can roam. If you brought him on, is Stanley Matthews. And
Stanley Matthews.
yeah,
There's a skill named after him. The Stanley Matthew. I think it's that spin.
yeah,
So as the ball comes, I think
he's a skillful, tricky winger, and probably the only outside of maybe John Barnes. Apart from him, there are no other legendary wingers of England that I can think of.
John Barnes was the only winger I could. And you could
Name,
say Beckham
yeah.
as well, technically.
If you can count him as a winger.
Beckham isn't like
He's not a typical
not a typical
winger.
winner.
fast to
No.
inside out. He's just
But-
touch.
But
cross.
Stanley Matthews is, and
Yeah,
he would have got in had I played wingers. I think you could bring him on and just tell him to roam, and he would have gone out wide and done his thing. I think he would have been obviously a very skillful player, very very quick. One of the greatest players ever for England. So he makes it into that squad because as one of the 26 strikers. Harry Kane is top goal scorer. I've already mentioned. Wayne Rooney is the best player I've ever seen, and he gets that freedom. So one striker is a poacher, the other one has a bit more freedom to drift out wide on the left or to come in. And Wayne Rooney is a bit more, I don't want to say intelligent because I think Kane is very intelligent, but just that more comfortable outside of those kind of central areas, and able to cover on the left wing and connect and kind of make a 1-2 with Cole. Very physical as well. They're able to bully. This is a very physical team. They can bully people. This team.
Okay.
The backups. Lineker is somebody who backs up Kane for me. Again, a very good England finisher. And then I popped in Jimmy Greaves, another legendary English scorer from back in the days, to back up Rooney, another legendary figure. And then last player, 26th man, Alan Shearer, got the nod for me. If I was going to add another name,
I've been super rogue with all this, but that's fine.
So you've gone with Shearer, Kane, Rooney. Rooney in behind Shearer and Kane.
No, Rooney in behind Kane. So Shearer would be on the bench. Don't worry about that.
Oh,
so yeah. So it's
okay.
so my final.
So Rooney, Stanley, yeah.
So it's Rooney.
Why don't you just show him the graphic?
I'm going to show him the team. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say it out loud so that people at home can hear it. So Shilton, Neville, Ferdinand Moore, Cole, Nobby Stiles, Gaza, Paul Scholes, Bobby Charlton, Harry Kane, and Wayne Rooney.
And then with Stanley Matthews off the bench. Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That can work.
That works.
Definitely, Yeah.
Nice one. Cool.
Do you want to go first?
Who wants to go first?
You guys have the most similar.
Yeah.
Mindset.
Mine similar. Yeah.
Do you want to? Yeah.
Yeah. Just up top is Kane and Shearer.
Fair.
Okay. Cool.
So-
I understand that.
So yes, on paper, Rooney, Kane, Shearer, but you give Rooney that attacking midfielder role just to drop in and
Yeah.
roam.
Yeah, I
With
like
Kane
that.
and Shearer.
Hmm.
Kane, if Kane wants to defeat Shearer's running in behind with the fullback as well.
Yeah.
So we can get very aggressive
Mm.
with Terry's understanding, Campbell's ability on the ball.
Mm.
I think that's a good balance, really. Yeah.
I do like that. I mean, I think it would work similar to how mine does in that Rooney is dropping, but for me he drops from a striker role rather than starting at a 10.
I see.
If you know what I mean. And you,
Because perhaps you don't want him that deep. 'Cause
Yeah.
then he gets in the midfield as
and
well.
I think instead of having Shearer in there, I've gone with Nobby Stiles, and I've gone with a bit more of a not balanced, but like a bit more pragmatic,
I see.
a
Yeah.
bit more defensive,
Okay.
solid. But yeah, I like that. Yeah,
Cool.
good idea. Rooney dropping. People forget like he throughout his career he was the guy who dropped, and you had
And
like
then he ended up playing centre mid when he was older because his ability,
Yeah.
switching the play, touch,
his
switch.
vision.
Yeah.
He's very intelligent.
He's so yeah. He's one of my
Yeah.
favourite players.
Football
of all time.
intelligent. But
Yeah. Understandably, yeah.
yeah, I can't think of many who are more favourite than me. Although there's a rogue one in there, but why don't you take yours off?
Kind of my two attacking midfielders either side of Bobby Charlton are Rooney and Gaza.
Okay. To try and get Gaza as far up that pitch as possible, basically.
Basically, and I just imagine Gaza, Bobby, and Rooney on the pitch together, just link in, and that would be probably like
That does make
the
me very
dream.
excited.
It's like literally like the best talent from every of the three kind of generations.
And what do you think the manager, was it Alf
Alf Ramsey.
Sir Alf Ramsey. Yeah.
Do you think Alf Ramsey would be able to?
That's how he played. That's how he played.
Okay.
That's how he played them. Like, and also in front of them is Sir Geoff Hurst, who's the only England player to score in a fine. No, well, Shaw scored Shaw scored in the final as well.
Luke
But
Shaw.
Sir Jeff Hurst scored a hat-trick in the World Cup
In the
final
World
in
Cup final
96.
won us the top.
So, I mean, just for that, you know,
The fact that I have mentioned him is kind of a disgrace.
you
actually.
can't believe you've not mentioned Sir Jeff Hurst.
Yeah.
Considering you've actually gone back in time. He's done more recent era, but you've
Yeah.
gone back in time to
And
still
I've
not
not
mention the
mentioned
guy
it.
who scored a hat-trick in a World Cup final to win it.
There have been so many great strikers that have come through
Yeah,
since.
but I'm going, like, if I want us to win a tournament,
To be fair,
Yeah.
adding the Jeff Hurst thing in there
I
is
think
great.
you
yeah.
put Sir
With
Jeff Hurst in.
Scholes and
So, yeah, I'll go through the team.
Scholes, yeah.
So, Shilton in goal.
Mhm.
Walker, I'm unsure who's going to play left centre-back,
Okay.
but Terry and Moore.
Moore played left centre back for me.
So did Terry, but I think either one would probably work.
Yeah, you could probably
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then Ashley Cole left back, Lampard and Scholes holding, and then an attacking midfield three of Rooney, Bobby, Gaza, and then Sir Jeff Hurst.
That's interesting. That is it.
Yeah.
I can see that.
So it's
I can
kind
see
of-
yeah.
I mean, he probably would have done it with
Maybe-
Gaza slightly deeper and Rooney up front and then Bobby in the hole. He would have played that formation, so it would have been slightly
against. So how it would work?
Yeah, go on.
How it would work is what he liked to do is against the better sides, it would he would how would he play? He played more of a 4-2-1-2. No, is that right? No, 4-3-1-2.
Like a diamond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he would shift. He'd have two strikers, so that's when Rooney would go up.
Yeah.
He'd probably then drop Gaza
In the 10.
probably into more of an 8 role.
Okay.
With Lampard both playing 8 either side and Scholes there, and then
Yeah.
Bobby still up.
Oh, I see.
Still
Okay.
Okay. So so it is
But
very
then against the
similar to...
easier teams is when you then push Gaza up, shift them all kind of across, and you have that
Yeah.
attacking
Okay.
midfield. But I prefer that attacking
Yeah.
midfield three.
So if you kind of see how mine's been laid out in
Yeah,
terms
so it's exactly the same formation against the better sides as that's how he played.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Against the worst sides, he then changed it to the formation I've chosen.
Okay.
So that's why I mentioned Gaza as a Metzala. So the Metzala would basically push into wide areas. So he would come up.
Necessary, yeah.
So he would come up here, and then Rooney would drop here. So it would be Rooney, Charlton, Gaza, rather than. No, pretty much that is what you said.
Yes.
But just in a slightly different order. I went with Gaza in the right role and Rooney coming out onto
Whereas
the
I went
left.
Rooney.
And just notice how we've all realised, like in terms of playing with traditional wingers, it's
It's
very
just
hard to
not-
go into all time.
Yeah.
So whether I've done a little box or that could go into a diamond.
Yeah, none of us have gone with wingers.
No,
because we can't yet.
Yeah.
Unless Saka
No.
does
unless
something
Saka does a madness.
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Or Gordon like starts to cook for some
Just
reason.
like Neymar, like
Yeah.
Gordon turns into Neymar for some.
Or
Yeah.
Foden actually turns out to do something for England, but
He's just
we'll
playing
see.
out position, man.
We'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see what happens with current England. That's a
Well,
that's
yeah.
a discussion for another day, I think.
Well, yeah, I mean, just for context for people watching, this is being recorded the day after the Slovenia game. Obviously, this won't be coming out, I think, for 2 weeks, a week, roughly.
This is going to be a couple of weeks ahead.
Yes, we are pre-recording.
So maybe we'll be back for the Euro finals
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
they won it.
Yes.
And
Oh.
we're just sitting here like, what? How does that happen?
Mate,
And then it's great. Then we'll get clipped for being idiots, and
Exactly.
we'll go viral. It's
Mate,
brilliant.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Mate, I sat in this room yesterday in Plymouth in this big hall, and there was like easily over 100 people in this room, and then the legends. And one of them asked, "Who of you actually still thinks England are going to win?" And everyone didn't put their hand up. I was like, "Fucking yeah, go on." Why not?
Honestly, if England win the Euros, I might go incredibly viral.
Yeah.
Because I've made so many videos
Yeah.
constantly saying, you need to do this.
I mean, if he just does one of them, and it works,
No. If he wins it like this,
yeah.
then I'll make some apology video and that will
That was viral.
But
Oh, mate.
or he changes to a tactic you spoke about,
and then
and then
wins
you've
it.
got like,
Oh.
the
And
whole
then I-
cooking and it's
Mate.
all
either way, I'll
perfect.
find a way.
Yeah.
I'll find a way.
That's perfect. Well, thank you very much, guys, for watching. That was
Yes.
our all-time England 11. We wanted to do squad, but
Yeah, I've got a squad. I'll throw some players in there, names that maybe didn't get mentioned in the starting 11.
oh yeah, Gary Lineker was my Jeff Hurst replacement
Okay, cool.
because of the pace and the poacher.
yes, yeah.
As much as Shearer and Kane, I think Lineker he won more.
True, very true.
than
Played for
Shearer and Kane.
Barcelona.
So, and we want us England to win the tournament.
Yes. Well, if you liked our suggestions, drop us a like. If you didn't agree, maybe drop us a comment. Tell us what you would have done differently. Tell us that we're idiots, because you do that sometimes.
Yeah, no, specifically.
Which we
about
appreciate.
you.
All feedback is good feedback.
You hate it, bro.
I get
What I've
so
learned
irritated.
is
by it.
any publicity is
Good
good.
Yeah,
publicity, yeah.
But he's like, the amount of times he's gone, oh mate, videos are doing really well. They're really like being mean to you, to like one of our other co-hosts. He loves it. Instances about him, he's like, oh, they're all wrong.
I didn't say they're all wrong. I just said I'll just get upset, Because
so do it. Thank you very much. Cheers again for coming on.
I appreciate being on. Yeah, thank you.
And we'll see you guys at some point in the future.
Cheers.